Welcome everyone, welcome to Wild Safari Live here in the magnificent Djuma and Arathusa Game Reserves in the world famous Sabi Sands Private Nature Reserve in South Africa. My name's Hayden Turner. What a pleasure it is to be back here. I'm so excited. I can't tell you how incredible it feels to be sitting in this vehicle on this magnificent location. Andrew's with me this morning. Andrew and my first drive, so we're getting to know each other, how each other works. We've already got common friends in Africa, which is fantastic. Really, really beautiful. One of the great things about this morning is that sun is just incredible. I'm just enjoying it so much, and I'm sort of sitting here in a little location that you might find a little bit strange while we're just static here and not on an animal. You won't believe what happened this morning. I drove out and 15 minutes we were just driving around, and sure enough, leopard just came through on the other side of this vehicle, this termite mound. We just want to see who it was. I'm not sure if it was Karula or who it was, but basically she was hunting. A Nyala went across the road. She leapt across the road as well. It was a female. We're just sitting here to just see what happens, but I can't contain my excitement at the moment. For you, those of you who haven't met before, my name's Hayden, as I said. I was here in November with Peter. Peter's actually out there getting Jigger all ready to get on the road at the moment. Jigger arrived last night, which is the other vehicle. Other fantastic vehicle that we've got, and he's just tinkering with all the tech people at the moment. We've got loads of people down here at the moment as well. Nikki and Tara are directing this morning, so it's great to be working with them for the first time. You guys are going to have to help me this morning. I've got to get to know the roads again. It's back in the saddle for the first time, and so many of you have sent fantastic tweets and emails and Facebook messages, and thank you so much for all the support. Last night we had two messages, a couple of tweets, a couple of emails that leopard was found seen down on the Gary Dam wall as well. So thank you very, very much for that. I've got so much to tell you, I've got so much to talk about. I want to get on the way, of course. I want to drive around. The morning is fantastic. It's about 16 degrees Celsius, which is about 60 Fahrenheit, and it says there's about 91% humidity in there. Now, there's a really incredible haze or gorgeous, gorgeous mist coming through here at the moment this morning. And the smell, there's this gorgeous, just sort of sweet smell of the grass when it gets this moist as well. Oh, I tell you what, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, folks. I kept on waking up every sort of hour thinking that it's time to go, it's time to go. Some of you may have seen I was putting a post on Facebook at about 12 o'clock last night, and then I heard lions roar, and I just thought, wow, being back in Africa is the most spectacular thing in the world for me. Now, this thing here, some of you may know it, some of you may not, and if you're here for the first time on Wild Safari Live, welcome. This is an incredible journey that you're going to be on with us. You are back on the back of this vehicle with us like you would be on any drive in Africa, and it's just fantastic to have you on board. All of you regular viewers, hi, and great to be back, as I said. This is my lucky porcupine quill. I found this when I first started here. It was probably the day after I saw Q, my first leopard here. And I've stuck with it ever since, and I just carried it around as a bit of fun. But I tell you what, I pulled it out this morning, and sure enough, Andrew and I were sort of just driving down that road on the other side of this block here, and sure enough, leopard straight across the road. And I'll tell you what, my heart just skipped a beat. It's a beautiful thing, and there's so much to talk about. I'm going to just have a bumble around this morning, so I have to ask for your forgiveness on that. I've just got to get to know the roads a little bit again, talk to some of the guides as well. We might bump into some guides and say hi as well. All the fantastic guides here in Sabi Sands are so helpful to our project here on Wild Safari Live. They help us, they talk to us, they give us information about sightings. Now, the other person who's integral in an integral part of my morning this morning is Brent. Now, how good is Brent? Absolutely incredible guy, and I met Brent for the first time last night properly. He's out looking for animals for me this morning as well, and you know how he likes his big cats, so that's going to be a pretty nice thing to be working with him. And Stefan, wow, that walk yesterday with Scotty and all the guys, Mark, everyone, you know, just been so good. And that's the sort of thing. Sharing the information is the most important thing. This is a project that we all work on as a team, and last night when we were sitting around the fire, and to see everyone working and talking together and laughing and sharing stories is what Wild Safari Live is all about. And it's also about you. You are part of this team. You are the ones that help us. I'm going to need your help with IDing Leopard, that's for sure. I can find them, but I need your help IDing them. There's a lot of line on the property as well at the moment. And I think from what the intelligence the guys gave me this morning, there's wild dog, there's hyena action. It's all going along nicely. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so excited. It's just fantastic to be here. I think we should get on our way, Andrew. Do you think, mate? Yes. And let's just have a little bit of a rumble around down here and see if we can pick up any tracks of this leopard crossing this road, because she was in this block. And if you see anything, please let us know. Andrew's my eyes in the sky as well, and the cameraman is a really, really important person for everything. The camera person actually is taking the shots, but also is another set of eyes, and Andrew and I were going to work as a team and try and find this leopard for you this morning. Wow, it's good to be back. Really great to be back. And also, of course, there's so many things to tell you. Questions at questions at WildEarthTV, and you can tweet us at #SafariLive. So it's questions at WildEarthTV and tweet at #SafariLive. And please send anything you want, and we'll do our best. That's for sure. Wow, it's good to be back. It's great to be back. Yes. I might be acting like a little bit of a little boy at the moment, but that's how I feel when I get in this part of the world and I get in this vehicle and I start to just drive down these roads, and there's something very special about the smell, the temperature, that mist, and knowing what's out there, everyone. Knowing what's out there is the most important thing, and knowing that there's no script to this. There's no script. We are part of this scene. Whatever happens, happens. You see it. You see everything that we see. And that's a beautiful thing. So I might ramble a little bit this morning. I just want to see if that was a track going across the road there. Keep your eyes out too for me, Andrew, because you've got a little bit more elevation there, mate. She was definitely in this area here, and she was hunting, and I didn't want to go crashing in, that's for sure. It was really important that we just watched her and respected her hunt. It was a nyala. I actually didn't see the nyala as much as I saw her, and I just was like, this is incredible. This is the best thing in the world. I remember back in November when I first saw Q, and I was a little bit nervous as I was driving around to get lost and didn't really know where I was going. And sure enough, VM was on camera with me that morning, and we went around the block a couple of times, and sure enough, there was Q. Oh, there was, well guys, I can't believe this. There's a male line. Yeah. I don't know. I've got to get to know these lines as well, everyone. Beautiful boy. Look at this. He's just going to walk out here. He's going to walk across the road here. I'm just going to stop so Andrew can get a static shot of him. But look at that. He's just walking along the edge of the dam wall here. Ah, welcome back to Djuma. Ah, yes. This is what it's about, folks. This is what Wild Safari Live's about. I'm just going to pop down on this little dam wall here and just sit behind him, obviously respecting our distance always. Looks like he's by himself at the moment, but he may be heading down to others. I'm not really sure. Let me just go and see what we can see here. Got a beautiful saddlebill stalk over on the dam here, but at the moment I'm just going to sit with this line. I know Oh, there's so much to look at. Look at him. Look at the light on him. Andrew, I'm just going to pull up here, mate, just to get a nice long shot on that for you. And just button off so we don't... Look at that. Just have a little zoom in there, mate. He's just going to walk along the edge of that. Stopping, listening. What a beautiful shot, eh? Gorgeous male line there, just in the mist of African morning. Let's just follow him up. Once I get up a little bit closer, I'll just have to give some of the guides just a little bit of a heads up. Just gonna see where he goes. That's a beautiful shot. Look at that. Look at that. Got a bit of sun coming. We're driving straight into the sun, folks, so please excuse us at the moment for not being able to get... He's a bit backlit, so I'll get up a bit closer and see what he does. Oh, look at that. Beautiful silhouette there. Get side on for you, Andrew, so you can just get a little bit of better shot of him there. He's just walking through, stopping, listening. Just going to drive up a little bit further, folks. I might just follow him up a little bit. It gets a little bit thick through there, so I don't want to disturb him too much, but we do want to keep an eyeball on him if we can. Just see what this country looks like through here. It's a little bit open. The only thing is, folks, we're driving straight into the sun, so it's a little bit tricky for you to see, so bear with me for a second. We'll just try and get a little bit further up. He's walking due east, and if it gets too thick, I'll have to back off a little bit, of course, but we'll just follow him and see where he's up to, what he's up to. He's on a bit of a mission, that's for sure. I can just get up here, Andrew, just to get a bit more of a look at him. It does get a little bit thick through here, folks, so it's a bit tricky, isn't it, Andrew, to see there. So he is moving into some thicker country. What I might do is I might just go around. He looks like he's really on a bit of a mission there, and there are other lines around at the moment, so I'm just going to listen to the radio and try and see if I can go right around the other side and see if we can get him coming on to us. You can see these lines, and as you all know, these lions and leopard particularly are completely comfortable with our presence, and sometimes you'll hear the scratching of branches and some of the foliage, some of the vegetation along the edge of the vehicle. I promise you it sounds a lot worse than it is. It's just these microphones actually pick up a lot of... Obviously the great thing is we want them to pick up the sound, but the scratching down the sides of the vehicle sounds a lot worse than it is, so please don't worry, we respect the vegetation. A lot of it just bounces back up. Wow. This is good, mate. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. It's good to be back. I think that's one of the really important things, folks, is that And you all know that we'll follow an animal to the point where, you know, we don't want to ever disturb its behaviour. If it's hunting, we're very, very respectful of that. And if it's on a mission like that, he's not going to stop. He's not going to slow down. I'm just going to go around here and just drive along a little bit, nice and slowly. Have a little bit of more of a talk to you, and just recap on a few things that have been really fantastic for me. Just in this area here was also another time where I saw Djuma in this tree down here with an impala many months ago. So many of these trees, particularly the jackalberries, have got special memories, because you do associate them with seeing a leopard kill up that tree or something spectacular happening around, and it's quite beautiful just to bring those memories back. So wow, what a team that Wild Earth is crafting, hey? Stefan, Brent, Scotty, and Mark, just amazing. And Peter and I are just so happy to be back, and the guys have just been amazing. Just really fantastic to have everyone, as I said, around that fire last night and talking together. Now, as you know, we're broadcasting live. You may get a little dropout now and again when we go down into a little dry riverbed or a drainage line, we call them, where all the water in the rains will fall down. The geography is that goes down the hill into an area where the water ends up following a path, and we call that a drainage line. I might refer to it as a little dry riverbed now and again. But you may get a little dropout, so I know you all understand. Broadcasting from a Land Rover, from an aerial to a repeater station to a satellite to London and then to the States, you know, it's a pretty big bit of technology going on here, and it feels fantastic to be part of, that's for sure. So I'm just driving along quite slowly at the moment, just getting to know my roads again. For English children to come and get to know their countryside is a very big part of life. And what Wild Safari Live does is no different to what happens in any part of the world, and can be just the most fantastic experience. For people to be able to watch and experience this from anywhere in the world is, to me, probably one of the most brilliant things I've ever done. I come from a long and battled history of making documentaries for National Geographic over the past sort of 20 years, and you know, when I first set off in 1997, armed with a camera and just a camera. I'm just turning my comms up here, guys. I'm just not sure if I've turned them down, just to hear the radios from the guides. It's a really incredible journey that I've had, and I've been very fortunate to do it, and to be back here doing this in Africa is just something that I never ever dreamt of. So what used to happen was I'd go off and make a documentary somewhere in the world. A lot of the time it was in Africa, and I would go back and help either edit it and then do the voiceover, and then we'd launch it, and it was a fantastic process and very exciting, but it was a long distance away from the actual job that you did in country. This is live. This was like being reborn for me, and getting into a vehicle and knowing that there was no script and the bush was writing the script in front of your very eyes has been one of the most uplifting experiences I've ever had, and you feel like you'll never turn back. So an incredible experience, folks. I'll probably chop and change around this morning. I'll probably talk about loads of different things. I'll probably keep adjusting my radio and whatnot, because I'm just getting to know all the quirks with the vehicles as well. They've got all their own little personalities, and I used to drive this vehicle around in November last year, and little things change on it, little bumps and crackles, but boy, have they got character. Now I reckon this boy is heading through this area here. We might just bumble along and head up this dirt road here onto this, what we call a cut line, which is the border of the property. So remember, if you've got any questions, you can tweet them to #SafariLive, or you can email us at questions@WildEarthTV. Knows everything, and that's what's great about sharing with all the knowledge of the guides that you sleep this place, and I'm just very fortunate to be here with them. So after 1997, I went off to Africa and made these things called video postcards, which looking back on them, thank goodness the editors had a little bit of magic in their fingers and created a story. But it was a great experience. I spent about 2 years traveling around Africa with a camera by myself, making these 5-minute stories. And now here I am sitting back in this great southern land. Obviously my accent's not from here. I used to be a zookeeper with African mammals for about 10 years in Australia in a beautiful zoo, and that really paved the way for my future. And my future is just about being here, that's for sure. Gosh, it's a beautiful morning. Absolutely beautiful. We're going to take a left here, folks. Wow, great first question. Laura in Alabama, how are you? Great to have you on board, Laura, and really fantastic to be here on Safari Live and answering questions. And my first question for my time back in the saddle. Laura, what is my first animal, or the animal that I'm looking forward to seeing most? I have to be completely honest. It's Q, the male leopard. He, for me, is the the first leopard I saw here. And he's a very special leopard. I had an encounter with him that I'll never forget. I found him, and then he sort of slipped into the vegetation, and I was a bit nervous. I didn't want to scare him. I didn't want to follow him too much. And then he did go down into a drainage line that I couldn't get down into anyway. And then I drove around again, and I came back up this road, and he was walking down the road towards me and walked right past my vehicle and gave me this look that was just like, they're the James Bond of cats. They really are. He was just so confident, and he's young, much younger than the other big males here, but he's just got something about him. I just love that cat so much. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him, and Brent, I know, is scratching around trying to find him, and if anyone's going to find him this morning on vehicle, Brent's probably going to do it for me. So Q is really a big cat that I love to see, and I really love to see some ellies. Elephants are one of my favourite creatures on the planet, so I look forward to. I know things are a little bit quiet elephant-wise, and that really fluctuates with lots of different things, different vegetation, different amounts of rainfall, the northern and southern corridors coming out of Kruger into Sabi Sands. So there's lots of contributing factors there, but if we bump into some ellies, that'd be really nice as well. But great question. Thank you very, very much. So that's the sort of thing. Lynn and Kathy, I can't survive without you guys asking, telling me things like that. You think that lion is one of the Matimba males. Well, thank you very, very much for that, Lynn and Kathy. That's the sort of stuff that I need to have your help for, and that's why this is such a fantastic program. I love it. I've got thousands and thousands of people helping me around here and enjoying this beautiful morning with me. So thank you very, very much, Lynn and Kathy, updating me there on maybe one of the Matimba males. Just going to drive along here slowly. He had a bit of pace on. He wasn't walking. He was walking with purpose, I like to say. When you see an animal walking with purpose, they do get along in a bit of a clip. Elephants are a really interesting thing, and Stefan will probably elaborate on this more, and I'll have a chat to him when we see him again, but when he's back on a walk. Elephant walk at about, I think about just over 6 kilometres an hour. We walk at about just over 4 kilometres an hour at an easy. You're okay with that. It's really important just for me to get to know these roads again, as I say, and get to know these animals again. He definitely was coming through this way, but they can change point. They can have a little bit of a directional turn. They might get distracted as well. This crest here, I remember coming up here one day, driving up here at about a similar time of the morning, and there was 4 wild dog and their pups just walking over this crest here down towards us. They're the sort of things that make your heart sing. Unexpected encounters like that are just the most beautiful thing in Africa, and that's what it's about. You drive around, you find some things, you see some things. Let's just have a look back there. There's a question from Jeffrey in Texas. Hi Jeffrey, welcome aboard Safari Live and great to meet you. Jeffrey wants to know if the colder weather affects the lion's metabolism, whether they eat less. Lions have to feed themselves as and when they can. They're probably a little bit less opportunistic than leopard, but the leopard has a fantastic ability to store its food, take it up into a tree and go back later and eat it. But lions will generally hunt when they need to. There's so many contributing factors, Jeffrey, to that, particularly when it comes to the size of the pride. Obviously, the bigger the pride, the more often they have to hunt, the more times they have to make kills, and it really does depend on the size of the pride. So they will eat when they need, they will hunt when they need, but you'll definitely, every sort of couple of days, they will be on the hunt, and that will just depend on the size of animals they're hunting as well. I've read in books that in times of drought and very, very dire straits, they will even eat vegetation, some native melons and things like that. So there's they're quite incredible. But the king of adaptation, or the king of being able to scratch out an existence anywhere, are leopards. They will eat anything from crickets to large hoofed animals, of course, as we know. Quite nice. So we've still got some good temperature up our sleeve. What I'm going to do is just drop back down here and then take a left back into Djuma proper, and it was just beautiful to see him, I suppose, and he got on his merry way there. So yeah, Pete will be back out on drive soon. I'm sure everyone's dying to meet Pete and see Pete again. For people that know Peter, what an incredible guy he is, and a great mate of mine. We stay in contact through all different types of communication, from him in Namibia to me in the United Kingdom, and we caught up with each other yesterday morning in Johannesburg at the airport, and then flew out here together, and it was a great thing to see him. He's a great man. Looking forward to getting back into his vehicle, and he'll be right with you any moment, and I'll keep you updated on that. I'm just going to come up through this little, I love this road just here. I've always loved this road. It's just one of these little roads that not a lot of people travel down. And some of you might know my old saying, you never know what's around the next corner, and it's so true. I should have said it this morning when we first started off, because what was around the next corner was that beautiful Matimba male, and you never know what's around the next corner, folks. It's so true. So many times I've said it, and we will find something. I can smell Ellie. Or maybe just Ellie done. So one of the reasons why I didn't follow that male line, because he was just on a mission. The vegetation was getting very, very thick. We've got one vehicle this morning. I'm making sure that we keep in really, really good communication and sending you this beautiful stream from Djuma and Arathusa here. I didn't want to go into that really super thick vegetation and then just be sitting behind that animal all the way. So we're going to just try and find him a different way, and once the vegetation just gets too thick, we have to have a huge respect for that as well. The trees are and the vegetation are just as important as the animals, and we have to make sure that when it gets just too thick, not only can you break down massive amounts of vegetation, you damage the vehicle, and we're just trailing that animal through. So we'll just try and scratch around through these roads and see if we can come across him again. Just listening to hear what Brent's saying right now. I just heard his voice on the radio. So for those of you that have just joined us, maybe it's your first or second drive, the earpiece that I've got in here, I'm hearing the Game Drive channel. There's dozens and dozens of guides working on different reserves, private game reserves around here, and they'll all be communicating with each other and helping each other. That's what it's all about. Different guys that traverse Djuma and Arathusa will always let us know when they see something. So that's what I listen to sometimes. So I've got a question from Ardell in Fresno. Welcome. Thank you very, very much for being on board with us this morning. And it's a great question. Why do leopards get given names and lions don't? Well, there's normally a lot more lions. The leopards have a tendency to have their home ranges that we end up sort of knowing a little bit more solidly than we do, and they change as well, but we've sort of got a bit more of a handle on the leopard ranges than we have on the lions. The lions do traverse a lot of different properties, and we will be having lions, different groups of males, coalitions that will change. It's very difficult sometimes to tell the difference between these males and also the females. But with the leopards, we've got that identification with the spot marks on the last row of whiskers, that top row of whiskers that we use. It's very difficult. I've talked to Scott, I've talked to Brent and the other guides, and just said to them the other night, last night, you guys might have to help me a little bit with the ID of the leopards. And they were in agreement. They were just like, well, gosh, sometimes we don't know, and we have to ask the viewers to help us. And that's exactly what this is all about. Because you sometimes only see a tail, you see the back, the hindquarters, or you might just see the chest or a shoulder. And, it's really important that we work together as a team and try and get as much information from everyone as we can. So it's normally because there's less leopard. We know a lot more about the leopard because of those home ranges, but really great question. Okay, well, we didn't see him. A great question from Riley on Twitter. Hi Riley, and welcome aboard. Great to have you with us as well. I'll just stop here on this before we go down in this little drainage line, because I might have a little bit of a breakup. But Riley wants to know, do lion prefer certain prey species? Well, they really, if it's at the top of the menu for lion is buffalo. They will normally hunt medium-sized ungulates, which is another sort of fancy word for hoofed animals, and that's the whole range of hoofed animals, right from elephants down to hyrax. But they normally will be looking for things like young buffalo if they can, zebra, kudu, but buffalo are definitely at the top of the menu. But there's certainly a lot of skill involved with hunting buffalo, and particularly when it comes to those solitary big boys. You'll have to have experienced males on board, or a lot of experienced females, to be able to pull down a big buffalo. They're top of the food menu for them. They will definitely feed a good pride for a couple of days, and that's what they would go for if they can. They'll follow the buffalo herds as well, trying to single out injured or youngsters. We've been really privileged here back in November to see 5 males. The Birmingham boys, which I used to love following around, they really did do an incredible hunt right in front of our very eyes, and they pulled down a young buffalo, but it was only a youngster, and they were young male lions as well, so they've got to gain their experience and learn how to do it. That's the thing that's really incredible about lion. The more experience they get, the better they get at it. So great question. Again, wonderful questions from everyone. They prefer the buffalo, but there's loads of other species that they will hunt if they can as well. So when Pete and I were arriving yesterday, we got word from all the guys that you all were watching lions hunting buffalo or having a try yesterday, which is a great thing to see. Incredible thing to see. So they really do have a great preference for buffalo, if they can. We are just heading around back onto that dam wall, and I'm just going to do my normal dam run, if that's okay, just to get driving up to this dam now, folks. One of the zoomies just gave us a little bit of an update, and thank you so much, that there's a hippo in this dam. Water level's definitely different from when I was here last. Definitely dropped considerably. Got some beautiful saddle-bill storks over there, and that's a great sight. Two beautiful birds. Really gorgeous. They really are a super bird. They're really tall. Get up to about 150 centimeters tall. In feet, that's about probably about 4 feet tall. Magnificent bird. So we've got our Djuma camera over here. I'll just give a bit of a wave to you guys that are watching, our zoomies out there on that live webcam. Fantastic. I'm just wondering if that's... Are they hippo nostrils just there, mate? I'm just having a look.
Sorry, I put in a little terrapin down here.
Okay, just let me have a little quick squeeze down here. Just looking through my binoculars, folks, just to see if there's a hippo in here. No, can't see him at the moment. One of the things I do like to do, everyone, is I like to create a little bit of a bird list, and it's really nice just to check out birds, because sometimes when you're not looking at mammals and people are, you know, get a little bit fixated on mammals, I find it nice to have a look at birds. Now, I'm a little bit of a techie geek, and I'm just going to show you something here. I've got my little bird list, and I've got a great app that I can show you that beautiful saddlebill stork there, and then you can get a little picture on it. So if I do see a bird far off that I point out, and I won't spend too much time on it, I can bring the picture of the bird up for you and just have a little bit of a look, and then we can create a little bit of a list. I've got on here from about 37 birds we did last time. There's loads more birds than that. They're all different ones, so if we see anything, we'll try and bring it up. And the great thing about this as well is that it can give the call of the bird, so we'll make sure that we do that and have a little bit of a bird list going. Quite nice fun, spot a couple of birds. We did have a very funny time last time with the simplest of birds, but the fork-tailed drongo. I love that little bird so much. It's a very, very common bird, but sure enough, we tried for days to get a vocalization from that bird, and I couldn't. So if I do, I'll play it for you. and I do love my birds. It's just also when I travel around the world, you know, I might be in Uganda at one point, or I might be in Asia at another point. You do need to brush up on your birds, because it's like speaking another language when you do come down to another location in the world. So it's all about refreshing yourself, looking in books, talking to people, and I really wonder where that leopard went. Keeping eyes open around this area. There's a lovely little drainage line here, folks, that we often see leopard walking along. Just got a question from Jeffrey in Texas. Hi, Jeffrey. That's a great part of the world. I've been there a couple of times, and I really do love Texas. Jeffrey's question is, do saddle-billed storks prey on other birds? Well, they predominantly hunt fish and small reptiles, amphibians, but they have been seen to take other small birds. If that bird is slow enough, or it might be injured, definitely heard accounts of them taking small doves and things like that, particularly when there might be a terrapin or any of the turtles actually hunting. They'll just hang under the surface with their nostrils out, and you get a lot of the dove species that will come down to drink, and the terrapins will just grab one of the doves. Well, sometimes you get a saddle-billed stork that'll take that dove, but generally speaking, it's amphibians and fish and small reptiles. But really nice question, mate. So as I said, folks, this morning is a little bit about me getting finding my feet again. And so I really appreciate your understanding. You know, I haven't been here since November, and just getting to know the roads and driving along, seeing what I can see. Also listening to the Game Drive channel, but I've got to concentrate a little bit on where I am, and I'll do my utmost to find things for you, and we'll just keep going and going and going until we see some great animals. It's just a beautiful thing to be here as well, and I said it before, but I really want to try and give you all the senses, you know, the smell, that sense of smell of the African bush. It's pretty hard to put it into words, but at different times of the day, and I always love the early morning and the late afternoon. There's this sweet smell of the grass that wafts over the vehicle. You definitely get a sense of a unique smell of the African bush, and the temperature always, and just the general overall feel. And if we can send that across to you, you get an even better sense of being here. It's really important. And some of the scents that we pick up as well, and when I mean scents, the smells of animals. You know, you'll get the smell of elephants. There's some unique sort of sweet smell about them, about their dung and about their skin and themselves, you know, and particularly when an elephant's in must, which is that temporal secretion that the males I'm pretty sure this is up to I'm just going to remember on my roads. Actually, that might not be the road I'm looking for. It's a Treehouse Down. Does that go up to Treehouse Down? Or is it one further along? I think it's one further along. I'll just double check. I'm going to drop down into this little drainage line, folks, so please understand if we get a little drop out or the signal breaks up a little bit. We'll be right with you. But sorry, animals dung is incredible. incredibly important to watch this aerial here. Sorry. Incredibly important. It tells you so much about what's going on in the bush, and that bush newspaper is our eyes and ears. It's what happened last night. That bush newspaper tells us what animals were here, what happened last night, and you can tell so much from it. I mean, when you go walking with Stefan, for example, that's like another world. There's different types of tracking. There's basic tracking, which is the sort of thing I can do, and then you move up to, the levels of Stefan, and you're talking about this systematic tracking that you use. You put all the pieces of the puzzle together, and you can definitely write a novel about the bush, or a newspaper about the bush that day. So it's really important we keep our eyes on the road, looking for tracks across the road, and you'll know that, say for example, we had a massive rain shower. Just let me stop talking for a second while we just go through this little drainage line, because I know this little one's a bit notorious for dropping out its signal. We can know that if there's been a rain shower and then you walk out, or you drive out for that matter, you'll know that every obliterated track that's gone, all those tracks that you're seeing after that rain shower are fresh. And that's a beautiful time to go out looking for tracks, and they are quite beautiful as well. Line track and a leopard track. Let me just stop and give you a little look at that, because that's a nice thing to compare sometimes as well. I might just reverse back into the shade a bit, because I want to show you on another little gizmo that's quite nice to have. Now I've just got on this just a little app that just compares those tracks together, and I'll just open up here. You bear with me. So have a look at that. I'll just get the reflection off there for you, Andrew. And the difference between the sort of shape and the size. That leopard track is much more snug, I suppose, or much sort of more condensed than a line track. And it's just nice to see the difference. I'm just trying to get the reflection off there for you, Andrew. Let me get out of the way. And it's a really, really nice thing just to have a little look at that, because not often do you see the leopard and the line track next to each other. But that gives you a little bit more of an indication. You see that elongated toe of the line, and a lot more of a space between the pad and the sort of toe pads as well. So I love to do this for you, because I'm learning every day as well, and I learn from people like Stefan and Brent. Age, if we don't start to bring tech into the outside world, we are alienating ourselves, because we wouldn't be here doing this right now, talking to you from on the other side of the world, just telling you or broadcasting this message. So technology is in our world. Let's embrace it and bring it into the bush. And one of the things I do have to say to you, if you've got children out there in wherever you are that spend a lot of time on one of these things, and that's the sort of, they sit on the lounge or they sit in their bedroom, and you think, oh, I can't get them away from the tablet. Take it outdoors, get it outside. Take this bit of kit outside and get them to get an app that they can actually start to identify and classify things in their hometown, with their own wildlife. That's the really important thing, folks, and you'll start to learn. If you don't know me already, working with children is what I do on a daily basis, but adults alike. But these little people are the next generation that's going to look after places like this. So without me preaching too much, you'll get to know me that there's always an answer for getting people outside and getting into the wilds of the world and enjoying it wherever you are, that's for sure. So that's a little bit of an update on the difference between, I think that leopard track is quite compact. It's a really compact little print, a little pug mark, quite beautiful. I might do the Australian wave a couple of times to you. And I saw some great things of Brent clapping his face many a time to try and get rid of these hundreds of flies around, but they do become a little bit problematic. But hey ho, they are part of the ecosystem as well. Just turn this radio back up a little bit. Beautiful little wallow here. I've seen many a buffalo sitting in that little wallow just there. Many a buffalo. So a fantastic question from Lynn in Toronto. Hi Lynn, so good to have you on board as well. Great question. This is quite a funny little thing, and for anyone that doesn't know what this is about, Lynn's question is, did my son Jack allow me to bring the lucky quill back with me? And he did. I had to bribe him a little bit, that's for sure. The lucky quill, it's just a bit of fun, and I carry it around to bring us a bit of luck, and it did this morning. We saw leopard early, and we've seen lion, but my son did allow me to bring it back. He keeps it quite safe in his bedroom, but it's a great little thing and a good bit of fun. Jack definitely does rub it before he goes into a test at school. He thinks it brings all types of luck, so good bit of fun. But great question, thanks Lynn, and great to have you on board. I was sitting in London with my son a couple of weeks back, and I was around at a friend's place for lunch, and the boys were all sort of playing a couple of games, and my friend's children, and Renee and Andrew and my wife Nina, and we were all sitting there, and I said, boys, do you want to see what's on Safari Live? And Jack was like, yeah, all right, let's see what's going on. And we dialed up, we got them dialed up, there you go, that shows my age. Buffalo, maybe it was Buffelshoek Dam, actually, it was Buffelshoek Dam. And he was having a wild time, really beautiful herd of buffalo. And so I tweeted in to see if Scotty would answer a question for the boys, and that really just sort of brought it home to me how incredible this project is on Wild Safari Live. And Scotty said, hi HT, and hi Jack and your friends, and Jack's question was how many buffalo did he think were there. But that's just a beautiful connection, and that's what this is all about. The interaction with you folks is exactly what this is about, because otherwise we'd be just driving around making a documentary about wildlife, which is also a beautiful thing, so don't get me wrong, but this is special. You, all of you out there, everyone from the Facebook Djuma junkies and all these fantastic people on Ustream, and the people that watch all over the world, just an amazing interaction that I've never had before, and I keep banging on about it, but it's the truth. It's from my heart, folks. A really heartfelt thank you to everyone, and I guarantee you Peter's looking forward to talking to you as well about that. Just want to head up to Treehouse Dam. Had some beautiful encounters there. Temperature's rising a little bit. Just listening to the listening to Brent at the moment, folks, so excuse me for a second. But there, I can't see the mail. Apologies there, I was really concentrating on what was going on there. Quarantine is over on a location that they've spotted, so what I'm going to do is just try and get there, not as quickly as I can, but just move across that way. So if that's alright, we're going to do that. We've got a little vervet troop up in the tree there. I haven't seen vervets here for a while. Have a look at those quickly, mate. Just getting that morning sun. Okay, I'm going to head off if that's alright. On, folks, if that's all right. So I just wanted to have a quick look there. Sorry I'm driving so fast, folks, but I just wanted to see if we can get a sighting of this magnificent cat. It is my favourite cat in the world, and Brent, bless him, hey, he's amazing. He's leopard-tastic. Suddenly, the location where you are all comes flooding back to you. I now have got a map in my mind exactly where I've got to go. I've got to go up to the top of this hill, turn right. We're going to go down in a hill into Philemon's Dip. We're going to cut across Quarantine. I think, yes. Sorry, Andrew. Okay. Hold on, buddy. So, folks, you know that always we would be driving with great respect. We're driving at a speed that might feel fast compared to what we're normally driving. We'd never be driving through here at a speed that would be detrimental to the wildlife. We've always got our eyes open. And making sure that we always keep that code of conduct. Very, very important when you're driving in the bush. Looking out always, and it's not just for wildlife, it's for other vehicles as well. Okay, I know where I am. I know where I am. Just driving down in this little dip here and up this hill. A couple of these contour banks. We'll just take it slow over them. Come on. Gotta see my boy. Gotta see my boy. Turn around the camera, folks. It might look like I'm crying. I'm not. It's just the wind in my eyes, okay? I'm not getting emotional. I really do want to see this cat, though. Okay, so we're a little ways off, folks. I'm going to try and cut across quarantine here. Keeping my eyes out all the time because this is definitely where we saw, it looked like Karula to me this morning, but couldn't follow her. But you never know what's around the next corner. We're cutting right through the middle of quarantine here, very familiar part of territory for us. This is where one night we sat here and we did a live campfire, fireside chat right here, and Djuma sat in the tree right above us. This is what it's about. The most exciting thing, folks, is when you get that call through the radio that someone's got a sighting, and these wonderful guides share it with you. Come on. Let me just bring Brent in again, folks. Just stand by for me. I'm just going to give him a quick call. Brent. You copy? Can you just give me an update, please, on Q? Okay, copy that, mate. So we're on our way. Just going through quarantine now. So, folks, Brent's just given me a little bit of an update. Q seems to be walking down proper short cut line. I'm going to take a little sneaky road that I remember. Was it this one? Was it this one? Yeah, I think it's the next one. A little sneaky road that goes down here that we might be able to cut off about a few minutes off our drive. Otherwise, I'd have to go right up to the other cut line and then down, and I don't want to miss this opportunity. I think it is the next one. Just getting my bearings. If you've just joined us, folks, the reason why we're driving at a little bit of pace is because one of the leopards, my favourite leopard, Q, is being spotted on the other side of the property. He's probably about 2 minutes from where we are. That's the reason why I've got a little bit of pace on. And if you've just joined us and I've never met you before, my name's Hayden. I haven't been here since November, just getting my feet back on the ground and getting back in the saddle. And really, really thank you for joining us. It's a great thing to have you on board. So if we see this leopard, wow, make my day. It makes my day just being here. I do look like I am crying, but I'm not crying, I promise you. I've got tears streaming down my face because of the wind. think this is the road. I think this is the road. Please be the road. So we're really just trying to get there as quickly as we can, as respectfully as we can, of course, as I've said before. But it's not that I wouldn't stop if there was another beautiful animal, but obviously big cats are hugely on our agenda. They're one of the most spectacular things. There's many beautiful things in the bush, and all of you know that it's not just about the cats. It's about everything that fits into this magnificent habitat and ecosystem. Everything plays its role, but I can't really explain to you what the fire in your belly is about when it comes to leopard. For me, I just love these cats, and that animal that we're about to go and try and find, Q, is my favorite cat on the planet. So if we see him, HT's going to be a happy boy. So if you've got any questions, folks, please send them through. You can tweet them to us at #SafariLive, or you can send an email to us at questions@WildEarthTV. Either way, we'll get them. We try and answer as many as we possibly can. Obviously, questions that are pertinent to what we're doing are great. Obviously, you can ask anything, so it doesn't have to be that. But if we're on a sighting, that's always helpful. Of course, you can sort of steer the drive like that as well. But any personal questions, if you don't know me and you need to know a little bit about my background, please feel free to ask. What's an Australian accent doing here in this magnificent southern land? Well, I've got a lot in common. I'm in the same hemisphere. I was born in Australia, but as much as I love Australia and it's a magnificent continent, Africa is in my soul. I see a vehicle driving there. So I'm going to just go down this parallel road. So this little fire break here runs parallel to the cut line. What to do here? What to do? I might just hang a little left in here, and then it's probably safer to go down the cut line, and then we're probably more likely to come in contact with Brent and anyone else that's on lock. Obviously, I have to respect. We all do. Just looking over my shoulder here, making sure also. Brent, you copy? Brent, I've just passed Buffelshoek property sign on the cut line. Continue on from there towards Buffelshoek down there. Okay, copy, mate. How many vehicles on lock, mate? Okay, mate. Thanks for that. Standing by. So, folks, what I just did. Sorry, folks. You're a legend, mate. Thank you so much. We're on our way. So fantastic. So fantastic. These guys. Brent just told me that they're making space for us. Amazing. Isn't that great? There's a couple of vehicles on location there, and Andrew, one of the other fantastic guides. Just so nice. It's a big family, folks. I just listen to the radio then, and everyone looks after each other and makes space and gives everyone a beautiful sight. They know how important it is for us to share this with everyone as much as their guests, and they're just wonderful stuff. Got about 2 kilometres down this road, so Brent's giving me the heads up. We just carry on slowly. I don't want to drive too fast. So I might go quiet a little bit here, folks, when I'm driving. Just, I know you understand, but I'm listening to exactly what's going on the guide's radio, and if those little moments occur where I might have a little bit of a quietness, please understand that. Really important for me to arrive at this sighting gently and not go crashing in, and hear exactly what's going on. So good to be here, folks. Thank you for all the support. Just magic. See some vehicles up ahead here. Just excuse me, guys, I just got to talk to the radio. HC copy. Just coming over the crest, coming towards you, probably about 500 metres. So much. So just getting an update of where he is. I can see some vehicles up ahead. I'm not sure if that's exactly where it is or what location, but I'll give Brent a call when I get closer. This is what's fantastic, folks. Having Brent on the ground is a piece of gold for me. You know, Brent's got eyes and a Leopard. We might just have a little bit of a dropout here, folks, so please just bear with me. I'll just cut comms for 1 second. Okay, hopefully we're all good. As I said, it's a piece of gold for me today, having him out there and doing what he's doing. I can't thank him enough. Sharing these moments with you, with me, with everyone is just what it's about, and helping each other. I go on a bit, don't I? Yeah, I do. Okay. Brent, you copy? Brent. Okay, mate, we're about a couple of 100 metres back. to approach. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it. We've been given the green light, folks. Just approaching slowly now, folks. Got a tweet from Little White Butterfly. Thank you very much. It's a fantastic name. The question is, how long has Quarry or Q been tracked for this morning? I would probably say, looking at my watch now, about maybe 2 hours, 1.5, 2 hours. And that's all I can probably tell you right now, but I'll get some more information from from Brent and anyone else that's at the location. But as soon as I get some more info on that, I'll come back to you. Really There's my boy. Yes! There's my boy. Jeez.
Morning. Good morning. How are you, man?
Thank you so much. Thanks, Tex. So much, mate. Great to see you, buddy. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, my goodness me. My boy. Oh, check that out, everyone. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, I'm so chuffed. I can't tell you how happy I am. This is a moment for me, folks. It's just brought it all back home. This is the first cat I saw. Look at the light. Really interesting question from Tina in Houston. Tina, being a zookeeper for the length of time that I was, you do get a bit of a connection with animals. And Tina's question is, do you think that he'd recognise me? Well, probably not, Tina, as much as I would love to think that. But you know, these animals are wild animals. They see loads of different people. They might recognise vehicles. When I say recognise, they might get used to particular vehicles, etc. But and the shape of vehicles. I suppose if a big white truck drove through here or something, he might get off that termite mound, but he's pretty used probably a definitive no, but in captivity, if you were hand rearing an animal, or I'm just going to start up and head back that other way, folks, if that's okay. In captivity, animals do start to build a bond with you, but in the wild, you might get a bit of a connection with an animal that sees you on a regular basis, particularly people that are doing field studies on elephant and things like that. But I think the answer to most animals is they wouldn't really. Definitely, there's some different occurrences of let this vehicle go past in front of us. There's definite elephant bonds that we've heard of, particularly with famous elephant scientists that have worked with animals for like 20 and 30 years. They would definitely have recollections of who that animal or who those humans were. This is a very, very happy day. So what we're doing here, folks, is being really respectful as well, because there was 2 vehicles here before us, and that's how it works. He's just crossing the road now, so we'll just let these vehicles go on. Once one of the vehicles moves on, we'll become second in line, and then the next vehicle will become first in line. So it's really important to understand the morals and ethics and conduct as well of us here on safari, and I'm sure most of you understand that, but just to give you an update on that, it's really, really important. At some point one day soon. It's a really, really fantastic camaraderie that the guys have around here, and it's just a real pleasure to be around. Just gonna let them move on a little bit here. I don't want to follow right behind another vehicle. I'd rather sit and talk to you for a second. We know that you guys are on it, and we're on it as well. But great questions coming through, folks. Really, really fantastic. And the amount of knowledge out there amongst all the viewers is so huge, and I really rely on that. I rely on you to help me out with things, as I said, particularly IDs, and many of you have been either on safari or been on Wild Safari Live from years and years and years, since Pete was out there every single day by himself, rattling around in Jigga. It's just a really fantastic thing to have you all on board, and wow, what a morning. I'll tell you what, my little boy is going to be pretty impressed when the lucky porcupine quill has definitely struck gold this morning. I have to pinch myself sometimes, folks, to realise how lucky I am. A little zookeeper from Australia that's followed his dream, and here I am driving down